Good afternoon, CFM. It's Coach Matt with our Tuesday workout. We got some rowing intervals and some accessory work to do today. We're going to begin with 3 minutes of warm-up rowing, specifically because rowing is what we're going to be doing in the workout. So I would like for everyone to row, if possible, when we do the warm-up for 3 minutes, then get 2 rounds through this little sequence. Lateral lunge and rotate. So I start standing with my feet at about hip width stance. I'm going to step out and back a little ways, so my outside foot, or the foot that moved, is now slightly behind where I started, and then I'm going to rotate down, tap the inside leg to the floor, and then in one motion back to where I was standing. All right, so get 4 reps of that on each, or 5 reps of that on each side. Next one, a little shoulder accessory, so band face pulls. So I got my hands pointed down, pulling that band up over the top of my head, trying to keep my elbows approximately 90 degrees as I do those 10 reps right there. Front foot elevated split squats, so a plate, say 35, 45 pounds, driving the knee forward, but keeping that heel of that forward foot on the plate, getting all the way down, stretching the hip flexor, the patella tendon, Achilles, and the foot, right? And then pressing back up out of it. If you want to add weight on the second round, that is totally fine. A Copenhagen plank is next. So this is a hip, groin, and adductor exercise that is also a core exercise for the obliques. So the standard version of this is 1 foot on top, 1 foot on the bottom, and I'm squeezing them together on the bench, right? So I push my hips up so they're in line, and then I just squeeze together and hold that position. Try to make sure your body is straight. So you don't want to be bent at the hip, but you want to be straight right there. To make this a little easier, I can drop that bottom leg to the ground or drag it up nearby my hip, okay? So I can still have that tension on the upper leg adductor and on my core, but it's just taking a little bit of effort out of that movement or that position, okay? Last one, after you finish 2 rounds of that little sequence, I want you to row another 90 seconds. The first 60 seconds of that, just a moderate pace, and the final 30 seconds, I want you to try to hold your race pace for your 1,000 meter row. If you don't know what that race pace is, we can work on it. And I say for a 400 that we're gonna be doing in the workout today, if you don't know your race pace, just go hard for all 400 and try to hold that pace for all the intervals. So that is the main event for today, is 4 5-minute intervals based around your 400 meter split on a 1,000 meter row. So if you know your 1,000 meter row, you want to do it in 4 minutes. So that's a 2-minute pace for a 500, and that 2-minute pace is what your goal is for the 400 meters that you're going to row. At the end of each one, you're going to record the total time, and the total time will be your score. And then if you want to put your pace in the notes, that's a good idea too. So note that the pace and the total time are going to be separate numbers. They are not the same. They will not, they're related to each other, but they are not the same. So if you score your pace, you'll get a different score on the leaderboard than if you score your time. So everyone try to score your time on the leaderboard and then write your pace in the notes. And then any other things that you have to talk about with regard to, like, oh, my pace felt hard today, my pace felt easy, I think I could bump it up a little bit, or I need to maybe dial it back a little bit, etc. Rest 60 to 90 seconds, but not the full recovery, just enough to take the edge off, catch your breath a little bit, and then we're gonna do a little kettlebell complex. So it's gonna be 8 single arm swings with the moderate weight today. So not a crazy heavy weight, but just a little bit of active recovery, some kettlebell flow. If you can, I would like for you to switch hands every rep, which means a release and a grab on the kettlebell every single rep. If you're not comfortable with that, then just do 8 reps on one hand and 8 reps on the other hand. But the single arm swing is exactly like the double arm swing. You just only are using one arm at a time. And then at the peak of the kettlebell, you're switching hands quickly and making sure we don't drop the kettlebells, right? After your 8 kettlebell swings, we're gonna do 6 reps of a kettlebell lunge on each leg, all right? All right, and that's it. Rest until the 5-minute mark and start a new 400 meter row every 5 minutes for a total of 4 rounds. So at the end of this, the volume of work that you've done on the rower is 1,600 meters, all right? That's it for this Tuesday. Have a great one. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.